of a woman whose case has grown cold for the last 33 years is remembering their loved one and hoping to raise awareness of that cold case again after all of these years. Good evening, I'm Brooke Bickford, and alongside me is KTIV's Gabriela Quinones, who was at an event today that honored this woman. Now, Gabriela, how is the family finding warmth in this cold case?
Brooke, they found strength within their community. Many Indigenous people gathered today to remember the life of Lori Ann DeCora. The family partnered with Westside Pizza in Sioux City to bring light to her memory after the darkness of her death's legacy. She died 5 weeks after being beaten and stabbed at a house party in 1992. Her homicide remains unsolved. The family's mission is justice.
It's just hard for me to talk about because I have to relive the whole thing again.
Lori Ann DeCora died March 10, 1992, 1 month after she was beaten and stabbed near Westside Pizza on February 3, 1992. Her sister Ela DeCora was with her the night of the attack.
I was stabbed, and she was stabbed on the street, and she didn't make it. Even though I know who did it, the justice system, the police, nobody tried to help us back then.
Her daughter, Kayla Buffalo Chief Serum DeCora, was 9 years old when her mother died. She says she feels she will get justice.
I truly believe that she is with us right here, and there was an eagle flying around earlier, and I just know everything's going to be okay this time.
Lori Ann DeCora's case is considered a cold case as it has never been solved. Sandra Riedel was named as a suspect at one point, but a grand jury dropped the charges. The assistant Woodbury County attorney at the time said there wasn't enough evidence to support any charges against Riedel.
I know for a fact that there are a lot of people that have it on their conscience. And, you know, air your conscience, get right with God. And I feel confident that we're not going to give up, and that hopefully those people are going to step forward. We do have several names, and we're not at liberty to say right now.
Sioux City Police Department said in a statement, quote, "These cases are never closed. It's always an open case. If anyone has any evidence in this case, please bring it to the Sioux City Police Department and we'll investigate it," end quote.
I want this to bring attention to her case because I believe it was unfair that this person walked away and lived her life for 33 years and my sister didn't get to.
Brooke, this family has held out hope for 33 years. I mean, you can see and feel the strength that they have taken to get through it.
Well, and you know, with this kind of situation, what is the family wanting to see to happen in the future?
I mean, the short answer is justice. You know, just like the Sioux City Police said, a cold case is never really closed, and they're hoping that witnesses come forward.
Well, that's something that they are asking for, and if anybody does have any additional information, please contact the Sioux City Police Department at 712-279-6960. Thank you so much, Gabriela.
And a silent auction was held today at the Pierce Mansion to honor a beloved Native woman whose tragic story is now part of the missing and murdered Indigenous people crisis. The auction was called Voices for Lori, an Indigenous woman who was murdered back in 1992. And since then, her case has not been solved. The goal today was to raise funds for a memorial billboard and to keep attention on her case while bringing healing and unity to the Siouxland community.
This is our hometown, and you know, I never thought that we would be doing this, especially for my mother. And so I'm super grateful that you came out and that we're able to do this.
And if you missed this auction and would still like to donate.
In Gordon Drive in Sioux City this week, KTIV's Kaylee Doms talked with the family of a woman whose murder case has remained unsolved for 33 years.
For some families, justice never comes, but that doesn't mean that their stories are forgotten. A billboard went up this week in Sioux City to honor a Native woman whose death has gone unsolved for over 3 decades. But it isn't just about remembrance. It's about pushing forward the conversation around missing and murdered Indigenous women across the country.
I want to reach out to the public and say, can you help us? You know, my mom deserves justice. Lori was a beautiful woman, and can you just reach out and do the right thing?
That was Kayla Buffalo Chief Serum, the daughter of Lori Ann DeCora. Lori was a part of the Winnebago tribe in Nebraska and lived her whole life in Siouxland. She was beaten and stabbed to death in 1992. And Kayla says justice has never been served. And 33 years ago, her family had no support and no help from local law enforcement.
In 1992, when my mother was murdered, there was almost no help for my family. They felt helpless. It was very traumatizing. I was 9 years old, but she was just ripped away.
Now, Kayla is bringing her mother's story back to life and demanding justice. In March, the family held a vigil and launched the Voices for Lori campaign. In June, they held a silent auction to raise funds for a billboard. She says the community of Siouxland rallied together for the silent auction, with local businesses donating items.
For me, that was huge. That was people in the community saying, okay, we care. You're not alone in this fight. And they acknowledged what's going on and donated, and we were able to host that silent auction and raise enough funds for the billboard.
The campaign launched not only to bring awareness to her mother's case, but to push forward the conversation around missing and murdered Indigenous women across the country and to raise awareness for families impacted by injustice.
I founded Voices for Lori, Justice and Awareness campaign, to highlight my mother's case here in the Siouxland area. She is a part of that crisis. Also, we want to stand in solidarity with the other missing and murdered Indigenous cases within our community, but also, the nation. It is a worldwide crisis that needs attention.
According to Native Hope, an organization aimed to address the injustice done to Native Americans, the murder rate for Indigenous women living on a reservation is 10 times higher than the national average and is the third leading cause of death for Native women.
They matter, their lives mattered, they are not lost, they aren't silent anymore. And we can stand up for my mother and each and every one of those women and relatives in our community and say, hey, your life was worth something.
Kayla says she plans to continue spreading awareness for her mother's case and other murdered and missing Indigenous women, no matter how much time passes. In Sioux City, Kaylee Doms, KTIV News 4.
Awareness of an unsolved missing persons case is now being featured on a billboard along Gordon Drive here in Sioux City. That new billboard is part of a justice and awareness campaign to help solve and honor missing and murdered Indigenous women across Siouxland. A community-based initiative founded by DeCora's daughter hopes to highlight the epidemic of MMIW and bring visibility to Native violence.
As people drive by the billboard and they see my mother up there, she was a resident of Siouxland her whole life, and we're hoping to raise awareness that it was an injustice, and it's not just my mother. There are other missing and murdered Indigenous cases here in the Siouxland area as well.
Additionally, a silent auction recently at Pierce Mansion was used to reach Siouxland residents and bring additional awareness to those cases. Folks are urged to contact the Sioux City Police Department with information should they have it involving these types of cases.